Hi, I want to welcome you guys to today's webinar. Once again, this is Freestyle Solutions. We want to thank you for taking the time out today to attend, listen to this recording after the fact, whatever the case may be. You are joining a good team today here that will discuss with you Freestyle M.O.M in the cloud. Our flagship order and inventory management solution is now available in the cloud, and we're going to spend some time today talking to you about it. Let's get some housekeeping items on the way. Just letting you guys know, this webinar is in fact recording, so if you guys want to share this with any of your other team members that may want to view this, or if you want to go ahead and rewatch this, this will be available 24 hours after the webinar airs. Also, we do have a questions bar here. Use that questions bar to get your questions answered. And last but not least, we do have today's webinar slides here available for you to download. I want to introduce today your webinar guides. I'm Sean Taggart. I'm your product marketing manager here at Freestyle Solutions. I've been with the company for about 4 years on the implementation and support side, and recently switched over to product marketing about 1.5 years ago. Also with me is Ian Oano. Ian?
Thanks, Sean. Ian Oano, Director of Product Management. Been with the company about 10 years. Started in support and implementation, and actually ran a support organization now, heading up the product department, looking at different integration and adding enhancements to the M.O.M system.
Thanks, Ian. So today we're going to keep this nice, short, and sweet. Not only are we going to give you a deep, short intro into the company itself, but also give you an intro into M.O.M, give you a brief overview of what M.O.M is all about. It is a big component of your order and inventory management lifecycle. We're here to show you some of those key components and features. We're going to also then talk about what's in your cloud, why it's important to have something like this in your cloud, and then we're just going to wrap it up. We do encourage questions. We encourage questions often, so if you guys do have questions, feel free to ask. We'll be more than happy to answer those as we go along. With that being said, let's continue on with this webinar today. Now, Freestyle Solutions has been around for about 30 years. It's been known as Dynacom previously. It was a company started by two brothers in the sheet music industry looking for a way to manage their catalog orders for their sheet music that they were selling, and they came up with what was originally called Mail Order Manager back in the early 80s, mid-80s, 1985 to be exact, and they were the pioneers of that space. And it's currently trusted by over 2,000 live customers, and as I go on to the next slide here, as you can see, we are recognized by many different online pure play retailers themselves, throughout various different verticals. I'll point out some customers like Utz. If you're very much into snack food, Utz is a very good customer of ours. And then we do also have customers like the New Jersey Devils for sporting teams, if you guys are into that. 1-800-Flowers, I'm sure, you know, with anniversaries, birthdays, Valentine's Day coming around, you guys may use a service like 1-800-Flowers to purchase some flowers for a special someone. And then also we do have some other customers here as well. So let's talk about M.O.M a little bit. M.O.M is our industry leading order and inventory management solution. We have are specializing in managing orders, customers, inventory across multiple e-commerce platforms. We have integrations directly with Magento, BigCommerce, Shopify, and Shopify Plus. We do have a robust API that connects to any other cart that you may want to manage, and we do have our own commerce cart and site link itself as well. Plus, we do have a management of different marketplaces like eBay, Amazon, Rakuten, just to name a few, and then once again our API to help manage that for any additional ones. Since we've been around for 30+ years, we do tend to have a really huge and robust feature set. We're going to be spending a little bit of time today talking about our core feature set, but like I mentioned, we do have a pretty robust API. A lot of customers have had success using our API to connect certain things like financial platforms, another e-commerce platform. If they wanted to connect to CRM functionality to our system, while we do have one, if they wanted a more robust tool, we have APIs there that can connect for you. Going on and looking at this slide here, this is M.O.M in the center, and this is everything that we can connect for you. As you can see here, we have the various different connectors for your commerce carts. We have our API. Once again, we do have our own e-commerce cart and site link. We can get your files in for inventory counts and stuff like that through a flat file import. We do have tools with helping you manage your shipping, financial data. We have built-in reporting. We're going to talk a little bit about security today. Obviously, with us wanting to share the cloud base, we need to make sure that we are secure on our side. And last but not least, we have some warehouse features and capability. What we're going to do is we're actually going to spend a little bit of time on the core feature and functionality, which is your order, inventory, and customer management. Before we move on, if there are any questions, please feel free to ask. We're going to take a quick 15-second break before we go on any further. And we are back here. Thank you guys for taking the time out. And no questions yet, but feel free to ask us questions as we go along here. One thing to note is when you are using a system like M.O.M in the cloud, you are going to be logging into something like this. This is an example of your platform to log into the M.O.M system. You have your own authenticated username and password to log in, then you can access your M.O.M system and data directly through this. We'll be talking a little bit more about this as we go along today, but just wanted to give you an idea of what you'd be logging into when you are going to be using M.O.M in the cloud. So going a little bit further, let's talk about order management within M.O.M. So the nice thing about the order management capabilities with M.O.M, and Ian, you can chime in any time you want to really go over this and hit the points home. We have the ability to view all orders in one location for multi-channel. So you may have multiple channels. You may be selling through your call center. You may be selling through a site like a Shopify, Magento, BigCommerce. You also may have Amazon, eBay orders that need to come into the system as well. All of your orders come in through one direct system. There's no need to touch many systems to see where your orders are and to see the process of your orders. Obviously, with that being said, we talked about the manual orders or your customer service reps entering orders. We have a simple order entry for the CSRs to enter in those orders. Obviously, we give you an easy way to view all your orders by the different statuses, giving you the ability to quickly process those orders that come into your system. Obviously, you know, busy times of years come around, and you want to make sure that you have the ability to quickly view all your orders that need to be processed and process that efficiently so you're not running behind on any of your orders that come in. With that being said, we do offer the ability to do a batch process and also give you a packer's workstation, giving you the ability to process the orders the way you want. Obviously, if you require some sort of QA check or manual touching of the orders, the packer's workstation gives you the ability to scan and pack, giving you that last ability to go ahead, scan those items and making sure you're shipping out the right items. But if you have a ton of orders and you don't have that luxury of spending time on order by order to check everything out, the batch process is here for you to make sure you get those orders out quickly. And then also, we do have the ability to now ship within M.O.M directly. We have M.O.M shipping powered by Shippo. Gives you, like I said, the ability to ship out orders directly within M.O.M. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to give the presentation rights over to Ian. Ian's going to talk a little bit about what I just talk and show what I just talked about. So Ian, whenever you're ready.
Thanks, Sean. So first thing I want to show you is the Shippo M.O.M shipping service powered by Shippo. Sean mentioned, yes, we are now able to print labels from within the M.O.M system, but we're also getting extra functionalities. We now have available for rate shopping. Best way, fastest way. Best way allows you to ship the package the most cost-effective way. So what M.O.M does is actually shop for you and give you the lowest cost to ship a particular package based on the ship to a location. We also have the fastest way, similar process, except we give you the fastest delivery date in order to deliver that particular package. And then we have a 3-day, 2-day, and a 1-day guarantee. Now, what those are guaranteed ship by. So if you guarantee a 2-day shipment in your website, what M.O.M does is looks for any shipping methods that can deliver a particular package to a location within 2 days. Now, this is very useful when you're shipping within your region. So take an example, if you're shipping ground You might be able to ship something ground in 1 or 2 days, saving you money instead of shipping it overnight or second day. So again, these are tools within the M.O.M system, M.O.M shipping service, that can help you save costs on your shipping. And this is very helpful and big as your shipping increases during the holiday season. So going back to Sean was mentioning, M.O.M really gives you ability to kind of filter down all the different orders that you get. So within M.O.M, we have different sales channels that you can import. So we have the e-commerce manager that has the Amazon connection. So you can download it directly within M.O.M. So within here, so you can define the different merchant settings. We have Amazon, Neva, ShopSite, Yahoo. We have connections to Magento, our own e-commerce platform, SiteLink. And if it's not one of those, you can actually use our API to get that information and bring it down to our system. Our system has what we call an import-export wizard. So if you have a flat file from any website or cart, we can then process or parse those particular orders and bring it into the M.O.M system. So again, that's what Sean meant when he said you have the ability to kind of view all your orders from all in one locations from the different channels that you might be selling at. And then going to the, if you have a call center, M.O.M also handles that as well. So M.O.M has a nice lookup screen for an existing client. You can look up an existing client here, and you can simply place an order. And then here, order entry made simple. You can actually then look up products in the system, pick the product that you want to buy, and you can see that the unit price is automatically calculated. If you want to add a discount, you can simply add that. You can go and pick a shipping method that you want to choose, and the pay methods. In this case, our system does offer tokenization, so you can see my particular credit card is tokenized. No credit card number is stored within the M.O.M system. It's all tokens via the gateway. So now you're also PSAT compliant. So once this is approved, this order is going to be ready to be picked, packed, and shipped. So, and we're going to go into that. So once I save this order, typically as a ship manager or a warehouse manager, I want to see what I need to process. So we have what we call a list status of pending report. So I can look at all the different statuses I have in M.O.M. I'm going to include all of them for now. And you can see all the different statuses, and I can sort that status, and I can see what I need to do as a shipping manager. I can identify all the orders I need to process, and once I do that, I can close here. Then I can go to my batch processing screen where I can bulk print all the pick tickets, the packing slips, the invoice, and then all the labels for the shipping. Again, M.O.M shipping service will allow you to print the label within the M.O.M system. So it saves you time from going out to another application to print those different labels. Again, very nice feature, very nice and easy order workflow, kind of save you time and streamline all your processes. And again, kind of reduces the error overall and time to output all the different orders that you have. Again, important because we're headed to the busy season. And the other thing Sean mentioned was the Packer's Workstation. Now, the Packer's Workstation is more of a process where you can actually scan and pack here. I don't have an example here, but you can actually scan a product as you pack it, so it ensures that you have an accurate product, an accurate order going out the door, so you avoid those mispicks, which typically costs them an average $38 per mispick. So if you actually factor that in, if you actually have Packer's Workstation and you're accurate, you're saving that time and cost on your side and ensuring that you have satisfied customers. So again, that's the M.O.M order management side. Those are highlights that we have in order management. We're going to give it back to Sean briefly to see. We're going to put it on hold, and we're going to see if there's any questions. We'll be right back.
All right, we're back again. We do have a couple questions here. I'll try to answer my best, but obviously we have the product expert here, so we're going to rely on you a little bit. One of the questions has to go back with Shippo. You mentioned the Shippo service. What is the cost for that Shippo service?
So the cost is none to the end client, so no cost for you guys. That's included with a supported contract in M.O.M that's supported from version 9 and 10 of M.O.M. So if you have a supported contract with us, that particular service comes free for you. Now, if you go to the website, it will say that you have a 5-cent cost per label, but we actually take that cost on for you.
And now for the scanning capabilities, wired scanner, wireless scanner, what do you guys use and recommend for that?
We actually have a combination of both, depending on what particular action you want to take. So if you're doing receiving, we do have a wired scanner for that. If you want to scan barcodes into the orders, that's wired scanner. But if you want to do wireless picking, wireless receiving, things like that, we do have a partnership with barcoders that can integrate that for you. So we have a combination of both. It really depends on what your requirements are, and I'm pretty sure we can fulfill those.
Sure. So as we're moving on here, let's talk a little bit about our next core feature, which is our inventory management. Like I said at the beginning, you can view all your orders through all your channels. Obviously, that means you can see your inventory across all channels at any given time. You have the ability to quickly handle stockouts. You know, again, busy time of the year, last thing you want is your hottest product that's been selling the most, that's been going through, it has the highest velocity to go out, and then you're burned on those sales because you don't have it in stock. So being able to quickly handle those stockouts will help. Obviously, we do have support here for multi-warehouse and multiple bins for a product in a single warehouse. You can track your inventory down to that bin level. Master your RMA process. Obviously, after the busy season, there's a lot of cleanup and a lot of returns coming your way, so you want to make sure you can master and handle that process quite easily. We did talk about it a little bit earlier when Ian was answering that question. You can scan and receive your inventory into your system. We do have the ability to do manual physical inventory counts via our import-export tool, bring that inventory count in. And then, as Ian mentioned, with our partnership with barcoders, we do have the ability to manage some wireless scanning capabilities in certain aspects of that. So what I'm going to do, Ian's going to show a few things here. So I'm just going to throw it back to him, and he's going to show you some things and talk about a few things as well. So Ian, it's all yours again.
Thanks, Sean. So here we're talking about inventory. So typically inventory starts from when you order the particular product. So within M.O.M, you have supplier setups that you can do. So in here, an example, you can set up your basic supplier information, contact. The main thing I want to show off here is the email address. As you put an email address for your supplier, you can check send additional option. And what that does is actually sends a PO as you create it within M.O.M. So it's a nice feature so that as you create your POs, your vendor knows about it right away. So going into the ordering screen for a product, so under here, we have our legacy view where you can have different criteria to look for different products that you need to purchase. But let me just change this over to the simplified view, which is the more. So now you saw that 4 tabs becomes 2. We actually simplified this on our later version. Now you can have an easy filter for all the products that you actually need to buy. Process here. And we can also put different criteria. So we have, if you only want to buy back-ordered items, if you want to buy certain products from a supplier, or like Sean said, if you have a velocity of a particular product, you can actually see what products are active, because you don't necessarily need to buy those products that are not actually moving. So you can look at what active products are. So you can see active products between a certain date range. You can look at products between a percentage low-level range. And once you hit process, it gives you all the result based on the criteria that you would have set here, and then you can go on and purchase. So you can see when I hit, there's a suggested buy here. So if I go to purchase details, you can tell how I got to that suggested buy. So M.O.M does have its own calculation. M.O.M offers forecasting for your inventory to kind of help with the stock outs and make sure that you have proper inventory stocked up for your holiday season. So once you have that, you can purchase the item. You can then review the purchases that you did on the pending purchase, and then you can go ahead and save. That brings you up to the creation of the PO. So I'm going to go ahead and create that PO. I just did. And after that creation of PO, then your next step is to receive that PO. Print that PO. Like I mentioned before on this setup, we are emailing that PO directly to the vendor. So they know about it right away once we complete it here. Or if you don't like that particular process, you can just uncheck that option to send additional information. That way you can control what you send to the vendor, and you can put your own email there, and you can then edit the PO if you'd like. And you can see my PO just came in, and this is how it would look like to your vendor. So nice and simple, tells you exactly what they need, where to ship it to, and this is a preview of it, and the full PO itself is right here on the PDF. So again, nice feature to have with M.O.M. So once the POs are printed, you have to receive that PO, so you have a receive here. You can also have, like I mentioned before, we have a scan and receive, so you can actually scan the item as you receive it in the warehouse or your dock. So I'm going to go ahead and receive that. You can see that there's that one product that we just ordered. We can receive and save, and that's done. So now once we receive, it does process updates to inventory. And what that does is it actually will go look at any back orders for that particular product. It would be listed here. So what M.O.M does is it does it in a first come, first served basis. So as you process this, it will actually fulfill the orders that are oldest to newest. But if you have a VIP client you'd like to modify and fill those VIP clients first, you do have an option here to modify allocation, pick and choose which order you want to fulfill of what the products that you just received. So this updates our inventory. So I'm going to go into the actual inventory form or sheet. So we call it our stock maintenance screen. So if you go here, we look at that vitamin. You can see we have a lot of different attributes that you can add to a product. Size, color. You can add more attributes to it. You can add. You can make it a kit. You can make it a fractional. You can make it a service. You can make it a drop ship. So there's different options here that you can set within M.O.M. So depending on what vertical you're in and the type of products you're selling, you can actually get to that. So going back to inventory though, here you can quickly see what you have units in stock, what's committed, and what your net on shelf is, how many unprocessed returns or any back orders you might have. And going to our bins, you can see we have a bin here. And if you edit the bins, you can have different bin preferences. So you have your bin number that acts as the bin location for you. Your selling priority, where you can set priorities. If you have multiple bins, you always want to pick from the sell priority 1. And if sell priority 1 is out of stock, it goes automatically to this bin sell priority 2. And we also have auto replenish. A lot of warehouses set up is that you have a bulk bin and pick bin, so you can actually set up a pick bin and automatically replenish it from the bulk bin. So it's a nice feature we have on the inventory. Again, Sean mentioned you can have multiple bins in here, so I can easily add another bin in here within the M.O.M system, give it a warehouse, give it a bin location, lot number, and then save that particular location. And again, each bin will have its own inventory. You can see here I only have one, but it's 114. But if I had other, you can actually see that. And last thing I'm going to show you here is the adjustment and the import of inventory. So if you're doing physical counts within M.O.M, physical inventory, you can actually do a import inventory. So you can export your current inventory, then you can import it back in a format, typically a CSV or an XLS. It has 2 or 3 columns, depending if you want to export bin IDs. So it would be the SKU number, bin ID, and then the units you want to add to your inventory. You also have the adjustment here. So if you want to not necessarily import, you can adjust current units of inventory within the system. So here, I can adjust, I can add or subtract. So I can add 10. You can see the stock level after adjustment is 130, where I can say subtract 10, and that should go to 110. And you can see and save that and process that as well. So you have full control. We can adjust the lot costs. We can also transfer between bin to bin or warehouse to warehouse, depending on what you need. And again, this functionality is also available to the wireless scanner via our partnership with Barcoder. So if you wanted to transfer bin to bin, adjust inventory, adjust costs, or rename a bin and things like that, that's done to a wireless scanner. That's a Motorola scanners where you can adjust all that information on a wireless scanner, not necessarily needing a laptop. You're walking around the warehouse and updating it on the fly as you're walking around. So nice integration we have with Barcoder. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out. But for now, that's the inventory side. Those are the highlights we have for inventory in M.O.M. I'm going to give it back to Sean We're going to pause again for another 30 seconds to see if we have any questions on inventory.
All right, so we do have a couple questions here. One of the questions that they were wondering is in regards to lot tracking. Do you guys have the capability of tracking lots within the system?
Yes, we do. So we have the lot tracking on the bin level, so that way, depending on what you sell, specifically pharmaceuticals or food and things like that you want to track, we do have lot tracking capabilities, and we have reporting on it, so that way we can track all the orders sold by that particular product. Even if you make it a part of a kit, we trace that, so that if we ever have a recall, we can get you a list of names on who bought that particular product, and then even send an email blast on messaging that you would need sent to those customers.
And is there any type of reporting to show nearing low level so you can make wise decisions about purchasing?
Sure. We both have low-level and back-order reports that you can run, so that way you can easily identify all the different products that are in that particular category, and then take action so that you can replenish those inventory and be ready for your busy season.
Excellent. All right. So we're going to move on to the final core feature set in M.O.M Multichannel Order Manager. We're going to talk a little bit about customer management within M.O.M. Obviously, with that, it's important that you can manage your customer interaction and communication. So say, for example, one CSR comes in, they had an interaction with a certain customer. You can log that interaction, so that way another CSN comes in for their second shift later in the day. There's no mix-up. There's no double calling. You get to see all the interaction made, what was the interaction about. There's a follow-up. You can schedule follow-ups within there, so you have the ability to really go and truly manage your customer to your perfection. You also have the ability to manage different customer types within the system, which can special promotions, pricing, anything of the like that, you know, for your VIP customers, if you want to deal with any type of wholesale customers, B2B customers, you have the ability to manage and maintain customer types right there. I mentioned the customer-specific discounts. You can view the customer order history by order or by product purchase, so you have a little bit more variety from there. And then for anyone who's been doing any type of B2B selling, you have the ability to create statements for B2B customers. Nice thing to also talk about here is when it comes to customer management, obviously you want them to have a higher cart. So when your CSRs are talking to them and you're placing orders within M.O.M itself, you have the ability to go ahead and do some cross-selling and upselling to get the ability to have more on their cart and also to raise your average order amount on there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it to Ian once again, and we're going to talk about this a little bit, and he's going to show some stuff off. So Ian, take it away.
And thanks again, Sean. So like Sean mentioned, we do manage different customer type codes. So within M.O.M, we have 3 levels of them. So type code 1, 2, and 3. So that way you can categorize your different customers. And these type codes can be tied back to reporting promotions like Sean mentioned. So they're very helpful, especially if you're a B2B business where you can identify your retailers, distributors, or wholesalers and things like that. So what I'm going to show here is the actual customer record within the M.O.M system and the amount of data that it has for you right in your fingertips, so that allows your CSR to accommodate the different calls or clients that they might come across. So here you got your basic information on top, but in the middle here you have all the different information they can easily get to. Comments can be added to kind of illustrate the different types of special situation this client might need handling. We have the type codes right here to easily identify if they're wholesalers, retailers, distributor. We have extra emails and phone numbers if you need it. You can also view their customer current activity information, so you can see when the last order was, what the last transaction as far as email goes from M.O.M. So you can see that right away. You have different attributes as far as expired, fraudulent, to identify what this current state for this customer is. We have some stats right here. So last order for this customer was this order number, how many orders they have, how many mailings, what their RFM. So M.O.M can actually generate an RFM value. So what that is a recency, frequency, monetary value of a customer. So as the customers get spend money with you and how frequent they spend money with you, then they get a particular grading scale, and then that grading scale can then be leveraged to either promotions or any special action you might need in M.O.M, or just easily to identify if they're a VIP or what type of clients they are. Also, we have the order tab, so you can review all the order history with this particular client, how many orders they have, what the current status is. And if this is B2B, this order for a particular account might be a lot of different orders, so we have filters for that as well. We have the purchase, which actually goes down to the item details. So if a client calls in and asking, hey, I'm following up on a particular product, we have filters for a particular product, making it easier for your CSRs to accommodate for that request. They can easily find a product, go into the order, and then relay the information the client is asking for. We have the account tab to help you produce statements and what's currently open, or record a payment for them. So if they're paying by check or in cash and things like that, you can record that payment right here. The financial tab shows you what their current lifetime value is, if they have any terms, any preferences, if they're tax exempt. We have that information that we can capture so that the system can act accordingly to the client when they place orders with us. We have demographic information, so mine's not filled in, but you can actually define all the different fields you would need in M.O.M. So we have the basic, again, the contact information, but if you need to capture more information, let's say a lot of our nursery clients that sell different plants. Plants need different requirements as far as what type of shade, what kind of fertilizer they need, how much water they need. They collect that type of information, and they can add that here, things like that, or their birthdays. If you're in apparel, you can collect the information here and add the birthday. So if you have a marketing for birthdays, you can pull that information out of the system. Contact and addresses. So as we ship different ship-tos or give-tos from Ian, this relationship will automatically be built, so that way we can refer to them as linked to the particular record with Ian. Contact history, this is what Sean's talking about with customer interaction, where you can actually record a conversation here on the phone contact and say, this was a return conversation, and you can save that. That way, if the CSR comes in the next shift, they can say, oh, there was a return conversation, or they can even schedule a call like Sean mentioned, and they can show up on the list to follow up. So nice feature to kind of handle that interaction and communication between the different clients. We have special pricing, so we have a straight out discount for customers, and you can tie in a qualifier of start and end date. You have a promotional credit you can apply. You can also add specific stock pricing for each client. So if a client orders a certain product all the time, you might want to give them a break on the unit price or a price discount. And you can fill in the stock and any qualifiers they might. You might have a minimum qualifier, that meaning they have to buy at least 100 of the particular stock and before they get the particular discount that you offer. You also offer attachments, so if you're in the nutraceutical or firearms or any type of business or vertical that requires licenses or prescription, things like that, you can add those documents right within the customer records, so you can refer them fairly easily once you do. We also offer address correction and validation, so you can actually validate an address to make sure that it's a valid address and you can ship to it. This really gives you a data hygiene that you would need so that when you're doing mailings, you know that it's going to the right location. It also ensures that you don't have any bad label or bad packages that's going to get charged on your shipping side, or bad addresses from your carriers, UPS or FedEx, which they charge a certain value. So you want to check those out and see what those look like on your monthly bills. But that's in the highlight of our customer management side in M.O.M. Again, I'm going to give it back to Sean, and we're going to move on to the next topic. But before we do, we're going to, again, pause for 30 seconds and then move to the next topic.
All right, we're back here. There are no questions here at this time. Ian, I guess you did a really good job there, so good job. So we're going to move on to the next topic here that we have during today's webinar. We're going to talk about our M.O.M shipping service powered by Shippo. We support the 3 major United States carriers of UPS, FedEx, and USPS. the nice thing to talk about this right here is with USPS, you're paying Shippo directly for your invoices. So when you get your invoice for any, say postal service shipments that you do, it's not going to come from the postal service. It's going to come from Shippo. So just be aware of that when that comes in. But your UPS and FedEx invoices are still going to come from UPS and FedEx. You're still going to get your negotiated rates. On the other side, going back to USPS, you're getting the commercial plus rates from USPS. Get a more streamlined workflow. Everything is done within the M.O.M system, tracking the actual packages, see where it is in the current time, creating that and generating that label, doing things now within the M.O.M system without going into touching other points. We are in discussions to look into and adding additional carriers. If you have any feedback that you want to give us about carriers you may want to see included within our M.O.M shipping service powered by Shippo, just let us know. We'll be more than happy to take that into consideration. Also, we're considering international as well, just giving some highlights of what's coming up. Ian did also mention the guaranteed by, the smart shipping aspects of best way, fastest way. We also do have an ability to connect to a nice service called 71 Pounds. 71 Pounds is a great tool that will also help you track your shipments and request refunds on those late shipments to your customers. You are qualified to get some sort of refund back from UPS and FedEx. This service totally free to sign up for as well. Gives you the ability to go ahead there and get your money back that you deserve. So, as of right now, we don't see any questions. We're going to move on here and really talk about the main event here, the main attraction that we wanted to talk about. Sure, M.O.M is an important component, important piece to get to this point, but we want to make sure that we give you enough time to talk about this. We're talking about M.O.M in the cloud. We want to talk about what's in your cloud. So obviously, a cloud solution is important. A lot of people are looking for this as well. They want to take away the IT costs. They want to take away some of the responsibility on them to manage and handle the infrastructure. So this is where a good cloud infrastructure like the ones we have managed by AWS in-house within Freestyle Solutions will be able to manage and do that for you. So you can focus your areas of different areas of your business. So with the holiday season, with the busy times coming up, throughout the year, you get different spurts of times that you're busy. You can focus on those busy areas and really know that your infrastructure can handle those spurts and bumps in volume in order and also interaction with the customer. We want to make sure that we manage the back-end IT technical infrastructure. That means any major updates, not only to Multi-Channel Order Manager, M.O.M for short, but also the system itself. Doing nightly or daily security checks to make sure there's nothing going on. And also checking and maintaining your database. We do 3 backups daily, so we want to make sure that your data, if the most catastrophic moment happens when your site goes down or your database, whatever case may be, goes down, you have the most up-to-date data there ready for you. Obviously, it's one of the things that we quickly launch. It is a monthly subscription base, and then also the security areas of your business, one key thing. And like I mentioned, focus on growing your business rather than focusing on managing your IT infrastructure. So the requirements here is anyone who's going to be logging into the system, you want to make sure that your operating system and your workstations have the latest security updates, latest updates not only to your security software, but for the operating system. As long as you're having 4 gigs of RAM and a 40 gigabyte hard drive, and running at least Windows 8.1, you're very good. And then an internet connection with a minimum of 28 megabits per second. Most internet connections are quite fast in that, but that's the minimum requirement. Ian, is there anything else you want to add?
No, I just wanted to kind of put it together again. You saw all the different features that we have in M.O.M. Now you have access to that directly in the cloud side, where you don't have to worry about the infrastructure in the back end, like Sean mentioned. But just want to kind of put that together, where we showed you what the capabilities of M.O.M is. And now you can access that via the cloud, and you don't have to worry all about the IT staffing on your side or installing the workstation on your side. It's all accessing to that screen Sean previously showed you, where you just log into a portal, and then you have access to your system.
Sure, and I'm just going to actually load that up again real quick here. As you can see here, this is the hosted login. You would get a username and password to your environment, and then you would be able to load M.O.M up directly. There's really nothing easier to do in this. This is all hosted by us directly through us. There's no third party hosting it for us. This is Freestyle Solutions, purchasing very good quality AWS machines to handle and maintain your data. It's your data. we're managing it for you. Like I said, you don't no longer have to worry about those IT infrastructure costs because we're focusing on that for you.
Also, to add to that, you have the experts here that knows M.O.M and troubleshooting that for you. So when there is an issue with M.O.M, it makes it so much easier for our support team to get into the servers and look at that for you instead of. So we have access to that. We do limit the access the support staff has so that they don't have access to the full data set. We do have level 2s and things like that to kind of have security. So we have checks and balances to make sure that we protect your data, but at the same time give it access enough for our support team to kind of give you all the support they need without kind of any hassles for you. So it makes it easier for us on that side as well.
Some things to talk about, M.O.M in the cloud support also includes these following things. Obviously, since it's really our hardware that we're supporting, we want to make sure that we give you the proper support for that hardware. Not only do we give you support for the server that it's being hosted on, but obviously we do any type of M.O.M software support. So, troubleshooting tickets that come in, obviously very familiar with, support teams, stuff like that, we'll give you that same support. You get 50 gigs of backup storage. That's a good amount of storage, with the daily backups that we do here on the database side of things. That's a good amount of storage to keep those backups up and current. There's subscription licenses. So like I said, it's a monthly subscription fee. And then you have your PCI monitoring, and it's all done through us in-house. We have our team that gets alerted, our IT team gets alerted if anything, weird or funky comes up. You'll get those alerts as well, but we will be on top of it for you. We'll give you the training that you need. Obviously, we give you the updates for Multichannel Order Manager. We'll also give you for our address verification module. We'll give you updates for that, and then it's hosted on SQL Web.
Just to note, also we do SQL Web, but if you want to migrate your own SQL license and if you want to use your SQL license full enterprise, you could also do that as an option.
One thing, and you saw this summer with the WannaCry malware scan and all that other stuff that comes out there. You want to make sure your data is secure. So we are very well PCI compliant. We do have the latest technology in firewalls. We are SSL encrypted. We do have the threat monitor and alerts to keep us updated in case something does in fact happen to you.
So we do have the environment itself that we're putting on is PCI compliant. And also note that M.O.M is PA DSS 3.1 compliant. So you'll make sure that both components that we're offering is both compliant. So overall, you can rest assured that your data is well protected.
So we're going to take, a quick commercial break here. Soak that all in a little bit. We're going to wrap up in 30 seconds. Take your questions if there are any. We'll be right back. All right, Ian, we do have one question, and it is a very important question that I think we should cover, just in case of anything catastrophic happening. What's the timeline? What do we do to get them back up and running in a timely manner?
Sure, we do have a couple softwares that we run here that kind of does transactional backups for you as well. So we gauge depending on the database size, but we estimate about 90 to 120 minutes. Get your data and server up and running again. So that involves taking in the current server and then migrating your data set to another server and getting you up and running with M.O.M again. Again, restoring the backup of M.O.M might take a little bit longer. It really depends on the size of the data, but we do kind of stand by 90 to 120 minutes to get you guys up and running again.
And more about support, is that 24/7 support? What kind of support do we offer?
Yeah, I mean, if it's something that causes you not to get into the system, that's an emergency. So then that way, that's 24/7 support where you can access the 24-hour line, and we have an on-call agent that will be able to handle that call, troubleshoot, and then adjust the issue.
So with that being said, we did want to wrap it up today. We wanted to thank you guys for joining us today. We did talk about a lot. We showed a lot within the multi-channel order M.O.M system for you to get an idea and to really understand what the system's about. And then we talked a lot about the infrastructure in the back end and how this new Freestyle M.O.M in the cloud, that will help benefit you, especially during the busy times. You know, one thing too is people like to take vacations, and there's some business owners that still like to, tap on the shoulder and see what's going on. No longer do you need to tap someone on the shoulder to get the business metrics to see how you're doing. You can log into that solution and do it yourself. So there's a lot of benefits now to really be on top of your business, really focus on the different areas of your business, because we're taking that IT infrastructure away from your business and we're focusing it here in-house. So we want to thank you for taking your time out today. For those who have joined and are current customers of Freestyle M.O.M, contact either Greg or Tom, your solution specialist, to get a little bit more detailed information. For those who have joined today that got a first taste of M.O.M, thank you for joining us. We hope to hear from you soon.